on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just giving you guys a quick update because I hate not putting content out for you guys. It really bothers me a lot. Unfortunately, we have run into an issue with the Mustang, and I don't want to spend money on the other cars like the Subaru or the Jeep because I need to get the Mustang figured out. I also have to save money for something else that's going on in my life in the next couple of months. So I really can't be putting, a ton of money into the vehicles right now. Doesn't go to say there's not going to be content. There is going to be content. I do plan on bringing the Mustang to the track very soon. The weather is about to break, so that's coming up. But let's talk about the Mustang really quick. So when I owned this car in 2013, I guess you could say, it had a bad transmission in it when I bought the car. So I drove it like that for a little while. Third and fourth gear originally didn't even go in with the stock shifter. I put a short throw shifter in it, and third and fourth gear started working, but it would grind going in. So obviously the synchros were bad. So very common problem with T45 transmissions. They also have a common problem of bent shift forks. So fast forward to me putting a trans in the car. This must have been about 2015, 2016, I would say. I found a fully built T45. The guy gave me receipts with the trans, the whole nine, so I knew he wasn't lying to me or anything like that. The trans has, it is a T45 transmission, but it has hardened shift forks like the billet aluminum ones. Carbon fiber synchros, third and fourth gear are straight cut, so they're the weak link of the T45. So you pretty much bulletproofed the weak parts of the T45. The only thing that trans doesn't have is an upgraded input shaft, which would go from, I believe it's a 10 spline stock, and it would push it to a 28 spline. That's the only thing that trans doesn't have. The trans still shifts perfect. So come after that, the car had the stock rear still in the car and everything. And one day I was beating on the car, and I broke the diff. I broke the spider gears in the diff. So I bought a used diff from someone. It already had, he told me, 456 gears. Obviously that wasn't the case. You guys saw that from me building the rear. You guys will know that it did not have 456 gears. It had 410 gears, and it had a Ford Racing track lock. Okay, cool. I used that rear for many years. So around that time, some point in between me putting the rear and the trans, I don't remember exactly when it was. I want to say it was after the rear was installed in the car, but it wasn't right away. It was like months or a year after. The car developed this really loud, obnoxious grinding noise that I thought was coming from the rear differential. Like if you guys heard it, you would think that it was coming from the rear differential. I'll drop a clip right here. That's not going to be as bad as the noise actually is, because when you're on the highway, the noise gets much louder and much worse, and it vibrates, and it literally sounds like a grinding noise, but it sounds like it's coming from the drive shaft. So instantly I thought, okay, well, my drive shaft is damaged, because when I lowered the car's pretty slammed. So when I would launch the car would squat, and the drive shaft would come up and hit the e-brake mount, which is very common in 79 to 04 Mustangs. It's just a common problem that they have when you lower these cars. So I was like, oh, okay, the drive shaft's halfway cut through, so it's extremely unsafe. I probably shouldn't be doing the stuff I've been doing with the car. But I do have a buddy that has a Fox body, and he said he will let me borrow his drive shaft to see if this fixes my problem. So I think the next step of attack here is to do the tail shaft bushing, which I have in the garage, tail shaft seal, because mine does have play. I don't know how much play is necessarily normal, but that is kind of a lot, I would say. I mean, it does move around a bunch. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. A little bit more than I'd like to see. So we're gonna get those done. My yoke on my drive shaft is not damaged yet, so you guys know, if you know Mustangs, you'll know a Fox body uses a 28 spline input shaft, and I use a 31 spline. So I'm going to swap my yoke to his drive shaft. We already confirmed that the drive shafts are the same lengths and everything, so it's not going to be a problem there. But he upgraded to aluminum drive shaft, so him being a good friend that he is, he's going to let me use his steel drive shaft. And yeah, it's going to be a downgrade, but if it fixes our noise, that will be fantastic. So I don't want to buy stuff, throw parts at the car, and waste money, because at the end of the day, if I know it's not the rear, right? The rear is brand new. There's nothing wrong with that rear. It's tight. Everything's to spec. Pattern looks good. Everything's good there. So the next step of attack is going to be this drive shaft. I know the drive shaft's damaged. I know there's play in the tail shaft bushing. Pretty much it's going to work our way forward. And I'm hoping it stops at the tail shaft bushing. I'm hoping we don't have to go forward more than that, because if we have to go forward more than that, guys, we pretty much have a fully built junk T45 at this point. Yes, it still does shift great, but it makes a hell of a lot of noise on the highway, which is really, really annoying. I really need the car mechanically right, driving right. This way I can start working on the exterior of the car, because you guys seen the exterior of the car. The car's rough, and I would like to get the car one color, whether that be a wrap, whether that be painting the car, doing the body work, or whatever the case may be. But I really want the car to be nice again. At some point, I want the car to be nice again. So, you know, if I can borrow parts from people that I know a lot of people with Mustangs. So if I can borrow parts, try them out, see what the hell's going on here, you know, and we'll figure it out from there. But if the car does need a transmission, I just want to let you know that we are not going to be going with a T45 again. We are going to be going none other than the T56 Magnum. And the reason for that is mainly due, we have a 456 gear now. We could really use the extra gear, you know, the 6-speed. And obviously my future plans with that car are Coyote. So that trans behind a Coyote is a very, very nice combo to have. So if we're going to work our way from the back forward, if we need a trans, that's what we're going to do. T56 Magnum. They run about $3,500 with no bell housing, no clutch, obviously, none of that stuff, and no drive shaft. We're going to have to buy all of that, but it is what it is, guys. You know, I want to try the easy stuff first, try to track down what the hell's going on here. But at this point, I'm leaning more towards transmission issue, but you never know. It could be the drive shaft, could be the slop in the drive shaft. I really don't know, but I will know soon. So as soon as I do know, I'm going to give you guys an update on that. But yeah, I mean, everything's just been kind of slow, man. And I also want to get the trans mount swapped out too, because I found out the Prothane mount lifts the transmission 1 inch higher than it's supposed to be. So I think my pinion angle is actually off too, which I think is contributing to a lot of my vibrations. So we'll put an energy suspension one in there. It's cheap, it's $50. I'll run my buddy's drive shaft for a while, and I'm gonna put a loop on it, Stifler's drive shaft loop, and that's for a reason. If the car needs a transmission, we're still gonna send this car right down the strip. I really don't care if the trans is bad. The trans is bad, and if it breaks fully, it breaks fully, but I want to make sure I'm safe doing it. I want to make sure the car is going to be safe doing it. So we're definitely going to need that loop around the drive shaft just in case anything locks up in this trans. I want to be protected by that. But yeah, I mean, I told you guys we're going for 11 second passes this year, and we are going to do it whether that transmission is bad or not. As long as that trans goes into every gear, we're going to send it. I can guarantee you that. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm done rambling now, but I just wanted to put a video out really quick for you guys because I don't like not putting content out. I try to upload every week, and it's just been very, very slow right now, and you know, it's not doable for me right now. So just bear with me, guys. I will have updates for you soon, and we will, you know, work on the other cars too, the Jeep and the Subaru. The Subaru is actually due for some serious maintenance, so maybe that'll be the next video, but we'll figure this out. We'll get through it, and we'll definitely get our first 11 second pass, whether it be 11.99 or 11.0. I don't care. We're gonna do it. I promise you guys. So I'll catch you guys in next week's video, Friday, 12 p.m. I love all of y'all. Have a nice day. Stay blessed. Peace out.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen, no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what.